Well, it is Friday, and man, oh man, am I maybe a little happier than the last few. That I don't know why, but that indeed I can say that. Thank you all for being a part of the program. I guess maybe because the sun is out and there are blue skies above me. As you can see, the show done a little earlier this afternoon because of an evening meeting. Not a ball game for a change. You know, we counted up last night, not to get off track too far, but we counted up last night as I just threw out there last evening how many times we traveled to Pike County for high school basketball. Well, on the way home last night from the game at Pike Central, we did a little math. 12 games we have traveled to Pike County, counting the 2A and the Mountain Schoolboy Classic and the regular season games that take you to, of course, Pike Central, Shelby Valley, Pikeville, and all the schools. We have been there 12 times. That's almost half of the season schedule that the boys have traveled to Pike County for basketball. It's been a busy basketball season. Well, they wrapped it up last night at Pike Central, their third go against the Hawks of Pike Central with 2 wins under their belt against that Pike County team for the boys, and we'll show you how it went last night. A real quick reminder as to the tip-off for Monday's 57th District Tournament, an update on the flu situation. A couple of really good opportunities to take some entertainment in coming to the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center. We've also got a few other updates for you as well. I've got, I don't know how many birthdays to start off our calendar tonight, and glad to do so. I've got your updated forecast, which has sun. Okay, I'll stop at 2. That's as far as I can run without getting into some rain that rolls in like the first of next week. I referred to it, I think, late last week as when we were just kind of getting things up and running, but just a little FYI. Your news today, of course, can be seen at 6 and 11, of course, on Howard's Cable and on Foothills Communications. And our friend at Foothills Communications have now added 2 morning shows. Now, I'm not coming in the morning doing a new show. I would like to appreciate anybody who said, well, why not, thinking that that might be physically and mentally possible, but it's not. But the program from the night before will re-air, not only at 11 o'clock after the 6 o'clock showing, but the following morning you'll have another opportunity in case you missed it at 7 and at 9 o'clock. That means Tuesday through Saturday, 7 till 9 in the a.m. You can also catch your news today. We wish to thank Foothills for doing so and giving us another couple of time slots. A lot of folks have been asking for that. The Kentucky House has voted to make medical marijuana legal here in the Commonwealth. The final vote last afternoon, 30 against, 65 in favor thereof. That will now go before the state Senate, as this vote, of course, comes after a lot of support and not for medical marijuana here in Kentucky. Now, this law, and I've gone through some of the particulars before, but essentially gives physicians the ability to prescribe marijuana, cannabis by its proper name, if you will, to patients and get it at designated or approved dispensaries. They say that smoking medical marijuana will not be, as I told you before, allowed per this bill. It will have to be in the form of pills and oils. It also, of course, does not allow legally any form of public use. But medical marijuana crossing a big hurdle in our state's legislature. Just a real quick update on the flu. I mean, as the sun's starting to come, days are getting a little longer, and everyone's starting to yearn for spring, but we're still very much at the peak of the flu season, even though recent numbers from the CDC have backed off just a tiny bit. Now, this is not to give you a false sense of security by saying that it has backed up or off just a bit, because as you will notice, almost the entire nation is in the highest of flu activity levels. And that includes, of course, Kentucky. And only a few oranges and yellows do we see anywhere else. Right now, flu deaths have topped 17,000. That number will continue to rise. Almost 300,000 people have been hospitalized. And right now, as far as those who have been suffering or have suffered from the flu this season, about 29 million. And, of course, the flu shot is, as always, your best defense. And washing hands, your best defense from cold flu, anything else. There's a new CDC report out that says getting a vaccine also reduces the child's risk of going to the doctor during the flu season by over 50%. Take that into consideration, moms, dads, and families. That's right, cutting down a trip to the doctor is just good for everybody, certainly the kids. And, of course, flu shots are recommended for everyone 6 months pretty much of age and older. But flu still widespread in 47 states, Puerto Rico as well. And we are now seeing a total right now, sadly, of 105 kids who have died as a result of the flu or flu-related illnesses this season. And that's an increase. We've seen 13 children die in just the past week across the nation from the flu. And I believe at least 4 confirmed flu cases I read in Lexington alone here in Kentucky, reported as of this past update. Essentially meaning that numbers are just not continuing to climb as they have, and those numbers, which are still growing, are just growing at a slower or smaller pace at this time. We hope that trend continues to wane or fall. With that said, I'll be right back with more of your news today. Local news next. Creekside Stitching and Feed is the place to go for all of your custom embroidery needs. Shirts, caps, jackets, and more. And they've got the best prices on value-packed dog food, blue ribbon beef mix, kickin' chicken, and shell and cracked corn. And premium quality gates, hay rings, and bunk feeders, plus metal carports and garages as low as $1,400 installed. For all of your embroidery, feed, and farm supplies, Creekside Stitching and Feed. 1 mile up Bear Branch off of Route 30. It's the largest inventory in history of Parkway Gun and Pawn, and that means the biggest discounts ever. They are now price matching and often beating any internet deals out there on Ruger, SIG, Smith & Wesson, Taurus, and other handguns, AR-15s, lever, and bolt-action rifles by Diamondback, Rossi, Winchester, and more. And right now, get new handguns and rifles in stock as low as $139 at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Salyersville, 349 Pawn.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a brand new phone but really don't want to pay hundreds of dollars up front for it? Then Appalachian Wireless has the deal for you. Get the phone you actually want instead of settling for a cheaper phone with the Appalachian Advantage plan. Instead of paying $400 or more for the best phone, simply pay the taxes up front and a few bucks more on your monthly bill. Stop by your local Appalachian Wireless store or dealer today for more information. It's the better, simpler way to pay, and it's called the Appalachian Advantage. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
At Salyersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Salyersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Salyersville National.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Nothing new to update on the investigation into the animal attack that claimed the life of young 13-year-old Corey Godsey and Emmalina of Knott County. That's just really all we know at this time. Authorities are still investigating, trying to determine exactly what animal, still saying they believe without a doubt that it is a canine, whether it was a dog, wolf, or a coyote. That's still yet to be determined per testing. I'm not certain as to which that will ever be an exact declaration made as for the exact cause of death, as still there appears to be no witnesses or any other information, at least that's been made public as far as I know at this hour. But once again, that GoFundMe page still continues to see support as the family established it to raise funds for the funeral costs, which had yesterday surpassed the $7,500 mark. Well, I've got some entertainment news for you. A couple of big shows coming to right here in downtown Salyersville, the first in a couple of weeks. And we've got Ralph Stanley II. Now, he's not unknown to these parts. Community Day, need I say more. But a little more of a private or personal setting can be had coming up pretty soon. And then a name that I think most everyone knows coming to join some local talent pretty soon, too. The first is coming up soon, and it's Ralph Stanley II and, of course, the Clinch Mountain Boys, and it's going to be Friday, March the 6th. And today's the 21st of February, right? So in a couple of weeks at the Magoffin County Community Center, the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center at 7 o'clock. Admission is $20, sponsored again by the Sagersville Kiwanis Club. That's Ralph Stanley II and the Clinch Mountain Boys in a couple of weeks. Friday, March the 6th, and then just a few weeks thereafter, on Friday, April the 3rd, you've got some local talent. Eddie Jenkins and the Midnight Promise, Whitney Lovely, Zoe Howard, all performing the same night as Nick Jamerson. Yes, from Sunday Best, that Nicholas Jamerson. He's coming to Sagersville, also at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center for an evening of entertainment. That is Friday, April the 3rd, 7 to 10 p.m., also sponsored by the Sagersville Kiwanis. Admission is just $10 for that show. Yeah, $10. Get you in to see these guys and gals and Nick Jamerson Saturday, April the 3rd. We'll put it on the calendar, remind you about it. They'll have concessions available. But both shows coming up in the coming weeks. The first in a couple of weeks at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center, brought to you by the Sagersville Kiwanis organization. Good times. Now it's birthdays. I like birthdays, and you can't have enough of them, even though tonight we've got a lot. Indeed, a bunch of birthdays. Thank you so much for sending them in. They're free here, and as we've been announcing, they're now free in the Sagersville Independent. That's birthdays, birth announcements, and the like. So be sure and put them in. We'll put them in the paper. Tina Mullins with a lot of love from your loving hubby Billy and Cody and Kia and Ryan and the grandbaby to be. Congratulations, by the way. Happy birthday to you, Tina. Happy birthday, Tina Mullins, tonight. This one goes out to Beth Ann Marshall, a.k.a. Bethy Anna Jones. And that's what it says. Happy birthday from your husband T, kids Daniel and Caleb, and nephews Xavier, Braden, and Noah, and the family and friends as well. Happy birthday, Beth Ann. Happy birthday, Bethy Ann Jones. Also, birthday wishes to Zachary Edward Phipps, celebrating too. Happy second birthday, with a lot of love from the family as well. And wrapping up birthday wishes tonight, a now 11-year-old, or soon-to-be 11-year-old, she'll turn on Sunday, Belle Caudle, love Shell, Stephen, Pap, Alyssa, and Dalton. Happy, soon to be 11th on Sunday, to Belle Caudle. Happy birthday to you too. Now, to everyone, an invitation to you all to join them at the Church of God's Grace. It's on Route 40, right across from Anaconda Drilling, tomorrow evening at 7 for a special worship and special singing with Brother Jonathan Arnott and others. They hope that you will stop by and join them for a wonderful, wonderful evening. Don't forget, you need to register if you want to be a part of the Middle Fork Fire Department's first annual Rook Tournament coming up Saturday, March the 7th, and you need to register by the day before. There's also going to be a supper for just $5 with a drink that's available for everyone who wants to just come, sit and watch, play, whatever. And whatever your announcement is, send it to our community calendar. I'll tell everyone about it. Now, for tonight's obituaries, a reminder that Josephine Arnott will be laid to rest following services that begin tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Arnott, 73 of Moorhead, passed away on the 18th, preceded in death by her husband Paul Douglas Arnott, but survived by sons Clayton and Bobby Joe, and daughters Melanie Rose Young and Paula K. Arnott. Visitation will start at 12:30 tomorrow, services at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And 57-year-old Robert Bob McCarty of Sagersville, member of the Middle Fork Volunteer Fire Department, passed away this week, the son of the late Robert and Betty Ruth McCarty. Bob is survived by his brothers Ronnie and Ray and Robin and Randall. And visitation will start tomorrow evening after 6. Services will start Sunday afternoon at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. With decades of experience and happy customers all over Kentucky, All Pro Gutter Works and Construction is now proud to offer long-term and 0% financing on their home improvements and home construction. That's new windows and floors, new bathrooms and kitchens, new roofs, siding, decks and porches, new turnkey homes and offices, and of course, continuous guttering in 21 colors. Locally, family owned and operated, and waiting on your next project and phone call. All-Pro Gutter Works. This playful pup is Maverick. He loves people and loves lots of attention, and he gets along great with other dogs. He, in fact, is the go-to dog tester at the Johnson County Animal Shelter, where he is up for adoption. If you'd like to make Maverick a part of your family, contact the Johnson County Animal Shelter. Our Pet of the Week, sponsored by Dr. Tom Abel of Able Eyes in Lexington and at ableeyes.com.
At work, we do a lot of live shows with crowds. I used to sit up there and not really know who was looking at me. I was finally tired of contacts and glasses, tired of paying for contacts, and I just decided I need to get these eyes fixed. Able Eyes was great. If someone asked me if they should get LASIK, I would absolutely recommend it. At first, like many people, I'm hesitant, but after going to Able Eyes and they walk me through it, I know that it's a quick and painless process, and I recommend going to Able Eyes. They were the best.
Right now, you can take advantage of their lowest prices of the year at $1,800 per eye.
Don't drive or let your family drive in this or this before doing this. Stopping at Conley Tire in Staffordsville for brakes, oil, alignment, and of course, tires. Thousands of tires in stock every day to fit anything with 6 months no interest financing and over 33 years of quality service with a smile. Conley Tire in Staffordsville. Magoffin County Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration with professional, licensed, and certified commercial and residential service technicians that can maintain and repair all manufacturers with new and old installation and financing available. Serving Magoffin, Morgan, Lawrence, Martin, Johnson, Floyd, and Breathitt counties. Magoffin County Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration, 349-1058 or 225-6779. Need an oil change? Are your brakes shot? Are you ready to turn the wick up on your diesel or lift up and accessorize your 4x4? Or get that dent fixed once and for all? Then call the professionals at Black Smoke Performance for all of your maintenance needs and auto body repair, from insurance collisions to full restoration projects. Black Smoke Performance on May Drive in Dixie of Sagersville, 349-8785. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down, and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville. Tomahawk Feed and Farm Supply, the region's largest inventory and lowest prices on feed for pets and livestock. And now they have Bernie, gear so warm you'll think it's summer, shirts and outerwear, overalls and more, for gentlemen and ladies. And Tomahawk always has the best prices on pickup and delivery of gravel and rock that's dense grade all the way up to big class 3 and drain pipe 4 inches all the way up to 72 inches. Tomahawk Feed and Farm Supply in Sagersville at Red Light number 4. So it was back to Pikeville. We would go last night, like I said at the top of the program, for the 12th time this regular season, but that being the regular season, came to an end last night for the Hornets. It got off to a rather slow start, however, at Pike Central. And that bucket by Pike Central and then this one by Magoffin County's Aiden Barnett made it just 4-all after 3 minutes of play, with Magoffin County unable to break the 10-10 tie at the first bell. And then as the second quarter closes, Isaiah Salyer closed in on the rim and laid up the 2 points for a 22-22 tie at the half. Then came the 3-point Hornet lead with 3 from Grayson Whitaker, and Magoffin County went up by 4 until the Hawks took back the lead at 4:49 to play in the third. Until Grayson Whitaker answered right back, plus 3 equals 27-29 up to Magoffin County. And at 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, Literal breaks another tie, but a foul on the Hornets right after on the other end with the plus 1 would mean Pike Central would go back in the lead again. And the Hawks started the fourth quarter up 6 over Magoffin County, and back-to-back Pike Central baskets with a turnover in the middle gave the Hawks a 10-point lead, 44-34 in the fourth. Later, Grayson Whitaker and the Hornets cut it back down to 8 on the downhill side of the fourth quarter, and then back down to 8 again with a big three from Isaiah Salyers. But after taking down Pike Central back in December at home by nearly 20, and then again in the 2A tournament by 5 in January, McGoffin County fell to Pike Central in the third round last night. Final score in the final game of the season, regular season that is, for the Hornets, 49-60. And a real quick reminder that McGoffin County is the number 4 seed in both the girls and the boys and takes on the number 1 seed in both the girls and the boys of Martin County. The girls tipping off Monday at Martin County, 6:30. The girls from Paintsville and Johnson Central will tip off in Game 2 on Monday night, with our boys tipping off against Martin County at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, and the boys from Paintsville and Central tipping off at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. The championships Thursday night at 7 for the ladies, and Friday night at 7 for the gentlemen. And again, all games at Martin County. And for a season-ending tally, that loss for McGoffin County still puts the boys above even at 15 wins and 14 losses, and again, tipping off next week in the 57th District Tournament. Now, the Lady Hornets are not done. They have a home game tonight. Go up and support the Lady Hornets. I got to tell you, last night it was interesting to note that at Pike Central, I believe McGoffin County had a larger crowd in the building, and that's interesting. And so supporting the home team is something that we've always been good at and continue to do. And you've got one more chance for the girls tonight. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock, mind you, a bit early for the Lady Hornets and Prestonsburg this evening. That will wrap up their regular season, and it's on to district tournament action next week. It's on to your Licking Valley RACC forecast right now, where the nicest weekend we've had in a long time is in front of us. Yeah, a couple of nights in the 20s before we get well out of the 20s and to above the freezing mark, rather well for Sunday, certainly on Monday night. But tonight, a low of 20, clear skies and a calm wind will wrap up your Friday. Tomorrow, even sunnier and warmer, certainly 52 degrees for your Saturday under sunny, clear skies, a beautiful, beautiful day, and a really nice weekend all together. Clear skies tomorrow night, back to the near mid-50s we'll go for the latter half of your weekend. 54, still sunny, still clear and dry. Not necessarily calm. We'll see winds coming out of the south-southeast, 5 to 10 on average, maybe up to 15 miles per hour or so at times. And then we'll wrap up your weekend with a nighttime low Sunday and into Monday morning of well into the upper 30s instead of the low to mid and upper 20s. Glad to see that. Now, with that warm air starting to move in, so does shower, and it's more than chances. Even though shower percentages have backed off and improved from your Monday's forecast, yesterday we had a 100% chance of rain. Well, we've backed that off to 90%, so says the National Weather Service for you tonight. So a rainy start to your work week, holding on to about 50 degrees. Not going to see much of a temperature swing Monday, 50 for the high, only coming down to about 45 that night after what's going to be a rainy day, with rain likely continuing into Tuesday of next week as well. As will the 50s, mid-50s on your Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a 60% chance of rain. So rain still likely into Tuesday, rain still likely into Wednesday of next week. Temperatures, though, start to take a slow dive down to the mid to upper 40s on Wednesday with mostly cloudy and that 60% chance of showers. By Thursday, we'll be into the 30s, mid-30s with a more of a chance of snow to the tune of a 20% shot on your Thursday and on your Friday as well. And temperatures back to the low to mid-30s both days and low to mid-20s by this time next week for nighttime lows. That's it for this Friday, for this week. Thank you for watching. We could not and would not want to do it without all of you. We will see you back here Monday for more of your news today after what I hope is a glorious weekend for you all. Good night.